A tiny bird flies straight toward a human. It chirps, flies a little farther, stops, looks back, almost as if it's waiting. Miles away, a humpback whale throws its enormous body between a seal and a pack of killer whales. Elsewhere, a mother cat curls around two newborn ducklings, treating them exactly like her own kittens. None of these animals share DNA. None belong to the same species, and none of them should have any reason to help. Evolution is built on competition, on survival, on passing on your own genes. So why does nature keep producing moments like these? The answer turns out to be far more surprising than kindness. Deep inside an African forest, a honeyguide bird finds a wild beehive. The prize is enormous: honey, wax, bee larvae. There's only one problem. The bird is too small to break the hive open. So instead of giving up, it goes looking for a partner. It finds a human. Or sometimes, a honey badger. The bird begins calling. It flies a short distance, stops, calls again, then flies a little farther. Researchers have documented this remarkable behavior for centuries. The bird isn't randomly flying through the forest. It's deliberately leading another species to the hive. Once they arrive, the human breaks open the nest, takes the honey, walks away. Only then does the bird move in, feeding on the wax and bee larvae left behind. Neither side is being generous. Each gets something it couldn't easily obtain alone. Biologists call this mutualism, a relationship where both species benefit. It's not friendship. It's one of the oldest business deals in nature. But the next example is much harder to explain, because nobody seems to gain anything. A giant moray eel opens its mouth, wide enough to swallow a small fish in a single bite. Instead of swimming away, the tiny cleaner wrasse swims straight inside. It picks parasites from the eel's teeth, its tongue, even deep inside its mouth. The eel could end the partnership in a second. It never does. Scientists call places like these cleaning stations. Dozens of fish line up, sometimes even predators and prey, waiting for their turn. Why doesn't the eel simply eat the cleaner? Because a full meal lasts a few minutes. Healthy skin and parasite-free gills can improve its health for years. Evolution discovered something remarkable. Sometimes, trust is more valuable than lunch, at least when both animals benefit. But not every story fits that pattern. Some animals help, even when there's no obvious reward. No food, no protection, no deal. And that's where things become much stranger. A mother cat has just given birth. A few days later, someone places two tiny ducklings beside her. Instead of attacking, she pulls them closer. She licks them, keeps them warm, feeds them alongside her own kittens. The same thing has happened with dogs raising tiger cubs, lions adopting baby antelope, even chickens protecting orphaned kittens. At first, it looks like pure compassion, until you look inside the brain. Right after giving birth, the body releases huge amounts of oxytocin, often called the love hormone. But that's only part of the story. Oxytocin is really a hormone of bonding. It floods the brain during childbirth and nursing, strengthening the instinct to protect, feed, and stay close to vulnerable young. Normally, that system is directed toward an animal's own offspring. But evolution doesn't identify babies by checking DNA. Instead, the brain responds to a collection of simple signals: tiny bodies, high-pitched cries, helpless movements. Sometimes, those signals are enough to activate the same caregiving circuits, even if the baby belongs to another species. The cat isn't making a moral decision. Her brain isn't thinking, "These ducklings deserve my kindness." One of the most powerful survival systems in nature has simply locked onto the wrong target. What looks like an act of extraordinary empathy may actually be motherhood, overflowing beyond its original purpose. A young seal darts through the water, doing everything it can to escape. Behind it, a pod of killer whales. The hunt is almost over. Then the ocean explodes. A humpback whale rises beneath the orcas, slamming into them with its massive body. It swings its long pectoral fins, roars underwater, forcing the predators to back away. Researchers have documented more than 100 encounters like this. And the strangest part is, the victim often isn't another humpback whale. It's a seal, a sea lion, even the calf of a gray whale. Animals the humpback will never hunt and gains nothing from saving. In some cases, the whales have been seen swimming for miles after hearing the sounds of orcas attacking another animal, almost as if they were responding to a distress call. At first, it looks like heroism, but many researchers think something else is happening. Killer whales also hunt humpback calves. Over millions of years, adult humpbacks evolved an aggressive response to the sounds of an orca attack. They don't necessarily recognize who the victim is, they simply recognize the enemy. Once they arrive, anything being chased by the orcas may accidentally become the one being rescued. The seal isn't the goal, stopping the killer whales is. Sometimes, helping another species isn't an act of kindness. It's collateral damage in a war against your own predator. If the first story was a business deal, and the second was biology overflowing, this one is something completely different. Some animals actively seek out relationships with other species because both sides become stronger together. One of the best examples lives on a coral reef. A large grouper spots an octopus hiding between the rocks. Alone, neither hunter has much success. The fish can't reach into narrow crevices. The octopus can't chase prey through open water. So the grouper does something remarkable. It performs a rapid head shake, a signal scientists have observed in the wild. The octopus emerges. Moments later, the two begin hunting together. Fish fleeing from the grouper dive into the rocks, where the octopus catches them. Fish escaping the octopus rush into open water, where the grouper is waiting. Neither animal shares the catch. Each catches its own prey. But together, both become far more successful than they would be alone. Researchers call this cooperative hunting. It's one of the clearest examples of two completely different species communicating and coordinating to achieve the same goal. Evolution didn't just produce stronger animals. Sometimes, it produced better teammates. At first, every one of these stories looks the same. One animal helps another. But beneath the surface, they couldn't be more different. The honeyguide isn't being generous. It's making a trade. The mother cat isn't adopting ducklings because she understands they're orphans. Her brain is responding to one of the strongest hormonal systems in nature. The humpback whale probably isn't trying to rescue a seal, it's attacking one of its oldest enemies. And the grouper doesn't hunt beside an octopus because they're friends. Together, they simply catch more food. The behavior looks identical. The biology behind it is completely different. That's one of the biggest lessons in animal behavior. The same action can evolve for completely different reasons. Nature rarely asks, "Is this kind?" It asks something much simpler. Does this improve the chances of survival? Sometimes the answer is obvious. Sometimes it's hidden beneath millions of years of evolution. The next time you see a video of one animal helping another, it's easy to call it kindness. Sometimes, it really might be. Scientists are discovering more evidence that certain animals can show empathy, especially highly social species like elephants, dolphins, and some primates. But many of the most astonishing moments in nature don't begin with compassion. They begin with evolution, a business deal, a powerful hormone, a common enemy, a partnership that benefits everyone involved. Different stories, different mechanisms, the same outcome. Perhaps that's the most fascinating part. Nature doesn't care whether cooperation looks noble. It only cares whether it works. And time after time, helping another species turned out to be one of the smartest survival strategies evolution ever invented.